Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 20th. This week, if you want to catch me live, I go live every single day at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But Cancer, let's see what we have going on for you this week. We're going to take that card that I grabbed at first. And let's see here. Definitely some sort of success coming in for you here. I feel like some of you are working on your financial stability as well. This is change here, is what I'm going to say to you. I feel like you're changing something here with your financial stability. So I really like to see that. I also feel like you need to let go of some fears in love, especially if somebody juggled you in the past. Definitely, it's popping into my head really hard here, Cancer, in your last row. Again, we're going to clarify this with the Lenormand at the end here. By the way, just so you know, this is not a traditional Lenormand deck. This is the maybe Lenormand right here. And so there are some extra cards in there and stuff. But anyway, that's what we're going to clarify with. You start off with the Dolphin Spirit. This card says this and that are true, which is really interesting because you also have this Between Two Worlds card, which says that, you know, kind of like, number one, that you could be stepping into a new world. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, which is the Wisdom of the Oracle right here, this Between Two Worlds card. It says you are going through some sort of transformation, but it's kind of a card that says two things can be true at the same time. I've said this before, and people are like, what the hell are you talking about? And what I always say is that, you know, for the examples that I can give are kind of like in business, for example. It's like I've worked in marketing for most of my adult life, and I see businesses where they'll be doing the same exact thing. They'll be running the same exact marketing campaign, for example. One will be doing extremely well, the other one will be failing, but they're doing exactly the same thing. And it's like, you know, how is that possible, right? Well, it's like the way that they believe things. When we really break it down, it's like maybe one believes that it's going to work, so they do things differently in a certain way that make it work. The other person doesn't believe that it will work, so it doesn't work, right? So this card says that whatever you believe is true, as crazy as that sounds. You have the Six of Wands here, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel some sort of delayed success coming in for you here. There is like a kind of an element of something being too good to be true here for you, Cancer. So I would be careful of that. I do feel like we need to be careful of that energy. Again, I've talked about this before. With Neptune and Pisces like illusions, but things could be going well for us. Like we could be making more money in business, or we could be finding the person of our dreams, right? But Neptune and Pisces, we could be like, is this real? Is this an illusion? You know, is this a fantasy? What is this? And so we start to question it when those questions don't really need to be there. Or we could even be at work and someone could look at us in a weird way and we're like, oh my God, this person hates me. And because we're putting out the vibration, then they hate you, you know? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but, you know, we need to be very careful kind of like what we're putting out. And I feel like that's what this is saying. You know, I know I keep hammering this home. I literally said this last night in the daily reading, that to me, I'm gonna keep doing it because it's like, if there was ever a time where we could really create our own reality, it's right now, Cancer. And it's as simple as like the words that we use. I literally have a whole new channel dedicated to it. I'm gonna put a link down below. So that's how much I believe in it, that now is the time. But in this first row here, again, sorry, I got off on a rant there. You have this Six of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. Definitely some wishes coming in for you. This is some sort of victory that you are having here in your life. I feel like saying, don't make this a shallow victory. You have this this last row here. You have the Devil, the Seven of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. For some of you, it's like you went through a breakup, but I feel like this is more worries about like a new person because of this Knight of Cups here. It's like you could be worrying, is this new person a liar, cheater, stealer, juggler, right? With this last row. But with this first row, definitely some sort of success or victory coming in for you. Next, you have the Embracing card. How interesting is it? You have this like, this and that is true card, this Between Two Worlds, and you have this Embracing card. This is a card of embracing this in-between time. It's like, you know, with this card here, it's like that flamingo hasn't fully stepped into color yet, you know? So I feel like for some of you, this reading is saying that you are kind of in this transition period, and it's about like embracing this period where, you know, there's like some sort of change. In this row, you have the Five of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. That Five of Swords could be like wanting to give up on love, or wanting to step away from love, not wanting to allow love into your life. So some of you could be feeling a little bit more independent, which is fine. You know, again, as I always say, I don't necessarily do love readings. I do whatever comes up readings. And, you know, to me, not everybody needs love. If you don't want it, you don't want it, right? And there are other things in life that we could be focusing on. And for some of you, I feel like you could be focusing on your King of Pentacles, your finances, and you could also be focusing on your dreams with this Knight of Cups here. The Knight of Cups, he is normally looking into the cup on this card, and he's normally kind of like looking into it, and it represents him kind of visualizing what he wants for his future. It represents him thinking about what his perfect life could be, or what some sort of fantasy life could look like. So I feel like some of you could be fantasizing about life. And again, I would actually say that this is probably a pretty good thing to be doing right now. You know, daydreaming, imagining what you could have, visualizing things as well. Again, Neptune and Pisces is manifestation on steroids. So if you are visualizing things, if you are imagining things, Cancer, then you could be attracting these things. Even if they feel like fantasies, you could be attracting all the ideas of those things into your life. For others, I feel like this is a breakup with someone, probably an earth sign. Virgo and Taurus are standing out to me in your reading. Well, you do have Capricorn here as well. So it could be a breakup with an earth sign for some of you. I feel like there's new love coming in, though, like a knight in shining armor here with this Knight of Cups coming in. But again, we're going to clarify in a second. Next, you have this Between Two Worlds card. I feel like you're in this weird in-between time where you're like not sure what's true and, you know, what's not true, basically, in your life. You're not sure if you can have this dream life with this Knight of Cups. You have the Devil, the Seven of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Again, for some of you, this could definitely be someone who juggled, someone who cheated, or, you know, lied and stole from you in the past, or worse, basically, with the Seven of Swords. It's like someone ran away from you here. Maybe they didn't give you much of an explanation as to, like, why, you know, with this Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, like a lone wolf running away. The good news is I feel like because this is your card here, this Between Two Worlds, I feel like for some of you, you're either healing or moving on from this energy. For others, I just get like too good to be true. I feel like this row is saying that your dreams are not too good to be true, that you can really, truly manifest the things you desire, but you have to do it. So let's start clarifying here. Between the Six of Wands here and the Five of Swords, you have the Ace of Clubs. This card is called the Ring, and this card represents marriage. So for some of you, you could be thinking about marriage. Maybe you've been single for a while with that Five of Swords, and maybe now you want a commitment. For most of you, the real feeling I get is that the ring can just represent your circle of support, your community, the people around you, the people who want to help you. And so I feel like for some of you, the Five of Swords can be like not opening up to help. So I feel like for some of you, it's like there's people who want to help you or who could help you get through difficult times, and you should open up to those people. It's also my favorite card in the deck, the Ring. I mean, it can represent total abundance, so I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. Between the Nine of Cups here and the King of Pentacles, you have the Lily. This is the King of Spades in the playing card reading system, and I feel like for some of you, this could be someone with like a lot of wisdom coming in. I'm almost getting like the truth coming out. So for some of you, I feel like the truth is coming out in a situation with that card. Between the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, you have this Train card here. It's the Five of Spades in the playing card reading system. It's not a real Lenormand card. To me, the Five of Spades in the playing card reading system represents taking some sort of risk or kind of taking some sort of leap of faith. So for some of you, the Seven of Pentacles, you know, and plus all these Lenormand cards here could say that you've been waiting for true love, like someone who you can marry. The King of Spades here would say that you're looking for someone who you can trust, who is trustworthy, obviously. I mean, don't we all want that, right? And you have this Five of Spades, which can say take a risk. But in this card deck, this card represents like momentum. So I feel like for some of you, and you have this Knight of Cups, Knights represent fire. Every single knight in the tarot represents fire because they all represent movement. And even though this could be a water sign, you know, they all represent fire energy. So I do feel like for some of you, you could be experiencing momentum, or things in your love life could be speeding up. Between the Five of Swords here and the Devil, yep, you have the Whip. The Whip is a card of like literally whipping yourself in the back. This card is the Jack of Clubs. So it's a card that says don't beat yourself up over things from the past. Again, this says like avoid toxic energy. For some of you, to me, like I think the Devil gets a bad rap in a lot of ways. To me, the Devil isn't always a bad card, and it can represent toxic energy. It can represent doing things that aren't right, but it can also be a card of the words that you use against yourself, Cancer. And the Whip would kind of say don't beat yourself up. So I feel like some of you could be like worrying about things or beating yourself up about things that you shouldn't be beating yourself up about. Between the King of Pentacles here and this Seven of Swords, yeah, you have the Two of Spades. The Two of Spades in the playing card reading system is a card of a breakup, so or separation. So I feel like for some of you, you have definitely kind of gone through a breakup or separation. This kind of has the vibes to me. Like I think we all go through this, right, Cancer? During a breakup, like we could be saying, we kind of blame ourselves in a way when maybe it's not us. Like I always like try to get people to see that in a breakup, sometimes it's the other person. Maybe the other person has attachment issues, or maybe they, maybe we should feel empathy towards that person because maybe they don't understand like how to have a positive relationship. Maybe they can't even allow one into their life. Like how sad is that, So I feel like for some of us, it's like we need to kind of put the shoe on the other foot, the Between Two Worlds card. We need to, I'm not saying that if someone lied, cheated, and stole, that you have to say they're a good person or anything like that. But I feel like having empathy and saying, you know what, they just have a sad life, or they were raised in a bad home, and they just don't know how to have a positive relationship. It's like sometimes doing that and realizing that it's nothing that we did, that we didn't do anything to make that person that way, or we didn't do anything to cause them to cheat or lie or steal or to break up with us, So I feel like that's what you have to realize there. Between the Knight of Cups here and the Six of Pentacles, you have the Six of Hearts, the Star. What do you know? This is like a dream come true, some sort of wish. This is the better option is what's popping into my head. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head for you here, Cancer, on that Six of Hearts. I feel like it's like the better choice. Something that stands out is coming in for you. Something is giving you hope here, Cancer. Something is lighting you up, is what I really feel. I feel like something is lighting you up. It's funny because I think in last night's daily reading, which is the daily reading for the 14th, I said something about you glowing. I think you had the Firefly card in that reading, and I'm talking about the reading for July 14th. So if you want to go back and watch it, definitely go back and watch that reading, because I said something about you glowing or something along those lines. And like I said, I feel like something is lighting you up. Something's about to get you excited. So let's get an outcome row here for you. In your top row here, you have the Tree. This is the Seven of Hearts here, Cancer. The Tree is like wanting a very deep commitment with a person. The Tree kind of represents like a family tree. It represents being connected with someone who you could have a family with. Even if you don't want to have children, it could just represent like having that type of commitment. For others, it can represent kind of going back to your roots. It can represent going back to the beginning in a lot of ways. So I feel like some of you could be kind of maybe going back to a job or a business or working on something that you used to work on in the past. Between the this middle row here, you have the Bouquet. This is the Queen of Swords, or the Queen of Spades. So I feel like for some of you, this is like a gift from the universe. You have the King of Swords and the King of Spades and the Queen of Spades here, the Lily and the Bouquet. These can represent kind of like, can represent like a challenging relationship. So I feel like for some of you, you're definitely getting over a relationship with someone who, you had a hard time with, basically. In your bottom row here, what do you know? You have the Clover. This is the Six of Diamonds in the playing card reading system. I love the Clover. It's a card of luck, and the card represents like a 4-leaf clover. And I always say that the Six of Diamonds in the playing card reading system can represent imposter syndrome. It can represent feeling like you're not good enough to have something, or being nervous about standing out. Again, I kind of said that in this last row here. I read intuitively, and so I feel like a lot of people would look at this last row, and people who just use the card meanings, which there's nothing wrong with that. If we were to just do down and dirty tarot with this last row, I mean, definitely cheating, lying, cheating, stealing, all those things. But if we were to kind of look at this maybe more and take more of like a holistic, intuitive approach like I do, and we were to put all this together, this last row to me would represent your fears of the future in love. It's like you're fearing that something that happened in the past is going to happen again. So it's like somebody lied, cheated, stole, if someone ran away, if someone wasn't emotionally available, it's like you could be worried that this right here, this Knight of Cups, is too good to be true. But I feel like you need to trust your intuition. I feel like this whole reading boils down to this card right here, the Six of Hearts, the Star. The Six of Hearts, again, I feel like it's saying something is lighting you up. It's like something is tapping into your intuition and saying like, hey, this is the right thing for you to be doing, whether it's in love, in business, and whatever. So I feel like the whole reading boils down to that one card here. This bottom row is extremely positive. It's like there's a lot of movement and a lot of momentum. It's like saying once you trust in the things that make you feel good, once you trust in the things that light you up here, Cancer, it's like that's when things are going to take off. So that's what I'd say here. I'm definitely kind of like, I wouldn't call this a good or bad reading, is what I'd say to you, Cancer. I feel like it's going to be a good week. I feel like there are good things going on. Definitely, it's like there's not much necessarily negative going on here. And even with this last row here, this Devil, Seven of Swords, Two of Pentacles, it's like clarified by this Between Two Worlds card. It's like you're moving away from this toxic energy. So, I wouldn't even worry about that. But this looks really good. So I like it. So thank you for watching, Cancer, and definitely enjoy your week.